The biggest battle we will ever have to face is the battle between you and you. It's the battle of taking your mind to that limit and then breaking through. On the Mindful Experiment podcast, we will share concepts, universal laws, and interviewing individuals who have done just that, who have gone through the dark times and through those moments allowed their light to shine bright. I'm your host, Dr. Vic Manzo, and I want to thank you for listening to the podcast and taking this journey with me as we discover different avenues to break through those limits, expand your reality, and evolve into the person you desire to be. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hey guys, this is Dr. Vic, and you're listening to the Mindful Experiment. Excited to have you on. As this podcast episode is going to be a little, may push some buttons, but it's something that I've learned over time. It's a phrase that I've heard so many times that I can see the agreement on it, and I can also see how I totally disagree about it. And that is fake it until you make it, right? And I don't know about you, but faking until you're making it, I can understand some things on it. I don't understand a whole lot. Like, for example, some people just say, I'm faking it until I make it, right? So I'm busy. I'm in high demand. I got this going. I use marketing tactics to show how great their life is and all this stuff. But when you get behind the scenes, it's not like that. Or they're on stage as a speaker and they're stating all these different things. And then when you look behind the scenes, it's not really congruent to what they say. I don't know if you met people like that. I have. And it's one of those things where, I've been told multiple times, fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it. And I don't know, it just didn't work for me. I didn't feel right with that. I was that type of person when I remember I started out in my business that people would be like, you're doing so great. You're doing amazing. You've been in 1 year and look at all the success you've had. And I'm going, yeah, no, I'm not there yet. Financially, barely getting by. I don't know what you're talking about. And people would be like, well, you got to celebrate your victories. You're building, and the thing is your body, your business is scaling and it's getting bigger. And I was like, yeah, that's true. But there are some indicators that have to show me that I'm being successful in the way I see things. Right. And it was always funny. I appreciated the comments at the time and all that. But at the same token, I knew within that it wasn't where I would have been. Now, I could have been like, oh, yeah, I'm just killing it. My message is getting out there. I'm helping people. I'm changing lives. Holy cow, it's amazing what we've been seeing. But in all reality, it was a struggle for a while. Or how about times people will share things, and I've done this, right, where you are being successful, you are killing it, but deep down, you don't feel that way. Deep down, you are drowning, right? You're not happy, you're burnt out, you're exhausted, you're fatigued. Maybe you have marriage issues or relationship issues. Maybe you have whatever it may be, right? I've been down that road. And it's one of those things where I had to be real with myself and say, okay, there's more to things than just this. And so faking it till you make it has become so easy to do, especially in social media, right? You have a highlight wheel. We call it fake book, right? You're just putting things up there, making your life seem like it's all glamorous and amazing and so unbelievable. But in reality, you're not there. You're not being true to what you're showing, what you're showcasing. And so one of the things that I have learned through talking, through coaching, through working with individuals is that your true power comes from being vulnerable. Your true power comes from being authentic, right? If crap's hitting the fan, sometimes when you share that, people see you as being more real. And I'm not saying share all these things and, just so you can get accolades and get more popularity and likes and follows on social media. That's not where I'm going with this. You share it because you want to help someone. You share it because there's an impact that you're focused on. You share the story because there's a reason behind it that states that there may be someone out there listening that needs this message. Every time I record an episode, when I'm speaking myself, I will always put myself in the state of mind to know that whatever I share, because this is not scripted, there's nothing here in front of me reading. All I do is take a theme, a thought, and I talk to you about it on the podcast. And whatever flows and whatever comes out, that's just what it is. And the reason why I enjoy that so much is because I know deep in that every time I record a podcast, there is someone that needs that message right here, right now. Spirit's guiding me in that way. It's leading me into that path that someone's going to listen to this and they're going to be like, crap, I needed to hear that. Wow, he's speaking to me. Know that it was guided. It's not really me. I'm just going with the flow. I'm in flow when I do this. And, so when it comes to how to really step in your power, be vulnerable. It's okay to show your weaknesses. It's okay to show that you're human. I tell people this all the time. I'll teach about things and share things, and they're like, oh, well, you do this all the time and you're perfect at it. I'm like, hell no, I'm not perfect at it. I'm not. I'm human. I fail. I have failed so much, and I continue to fail, and I look forward to failing because the failure is what really allows me to grow and expand. And I'm human. It's just part of the journey. I'm going to fail. No one's perfect. Everybody fails at every aspect of life. And the more comfortable you get with that, the more you can have more transformation. So that's what I'll share with people. I mean, there's times I'm very big about when I say I'm going to commit and do something, I do it and I get it done. This year, I failed twice at that. My book was supposed to be done in February. I couldn't do it. I wasn't in a creative mindset. I was not in the place I needed to be in. And so I took some time. I stopped a lot of things I was doing so I can get recentered. Then June came and I said, June 15th, finishing the book, right? What happened? I hit a massive writer's block. I've never had a writer's block. My first book didn't have them. I had times where I had to pull stuff out of me, but I could still write. I did not know where I wanted to go. I had an idea, but it wasn't coming into fruition. And now, July 15th, book will be sent off to the editor, right? So I failed twice on my commitment to my people following me. If you listen to the podcast, I've told you when it was going to come out potentially. Originally it was going to be June, and then it was going to be July, August, and now we have the official month is going to be September. We don't have the date yet. It's going to be towards the end of September. But I failed. It is what it is. But I'm not beating myself up. I had to do stuff for me to get more in a balanced state. So the product that came out of me would have been what I wanted it to be. The feeling, the experience of what I want the readers to listen to and feel when I write that book. And so that is, it just happens and things show up that way. There's a lot of things. There was a couple programs I was going to be launching in May for my online classes to add more content and courses to help people on many different spiritual and business and entrepreneurial levels. Had to put those on the back burner for right now. I will get to them in the near fall. It's just things happen, right? It's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to share your failures. You're showing your humanness. And when you do that, people can relate to you more. Imagine in a relationship, if you just shared that, honey, I'm sorry, I effed up. I failed. I'm sorry. I don't know what got to me, or I don't know, whatever. And you just be real. How would that change the relationship? Think about it in your career, in your business. If you're being real with yourself, how would that change things? To me, and it's not just me, everyone has this. I have a very sensitive lie detector test inside me. And I can tell when people are being authentic from their heart and when they're not. And it's been a beauty to have, because in the beginning of my life, I had it and I started judging it because people would tell me, no, this is what I mean, but I would totally feel something different. And then I thought it was in my head. And then I thought I was just making things up. So then I totally dismissed it. It wasn't until later in my life I started going back to it, because I started to notice that, people sometimes they don't want to share stuff because of XYZ, and you're picking up on truth. And I started to learn, and I would see, like, I remember first time I was hearing a speaker, and an amazing speaker. I started following him and listening to all he did and all that good stuff. But something told me it wasn't authentic. And people thought I was crazy. They're like, yeah, no, he's really good. I've talked to him. He's a really good human. He's really stick to what he says. He's amazing. And I'm like, man, I hate to be the person like this. And I kept just feeling that. You ever had that before, right? You get that like gut feeling like there's just something off. Trust that. I found out later what I felt was true. And that started my journey of being confident in this, and started to realize that, why couldn't you just say this, or why couldn't you just show this? It would have made your message more like powerful, and when I work with clients, I tell them all the time, be vulnerable. It's okay. That's your power. People are going to appreciate that. Some people will judge you and make fun of you. Who cares? It's going to happen anyhow. That never goes away. Jesus was judged. Buddha was judged. You're going to be judged. It's just part of life. But the beauty of it all is that just showing up and being authentic, hell, the most important thing to do is be authentic with yourself. Get vulnerable with yourself. Let yourself know it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay to fail and give yourself a break. Sometimes you need those. But it's okay to be real with yourself and say, you know what, I'm not achieving this because I haven't put in the time. I'm not achieving this because I haven't been focused enough. I'm not achieving this because I am not whatever that may be. I'm not being an amazing spouse because I don't spend time for my spouse to create date nights. I don't take time to write them, let them know how I feel about them. I don't take time to do the daily tasks to help them out. It's funny, when I was I had a contractor over, and we were talking about potential doing some work on my house. And it was funny because he's like, well, we can put a plastic sheet up. We'll break some things down. It'll get a little dusty. It won't be as much work for your wife to have to clean up afterwards. And I started laughing. She starts laughing. And I'm like, listen, bud, this is the 2019. Okay. We're a modern couple, which means we split things. There's no, she does this because it's a woman's thing and men do this. It's how do we help out around the house together? It's a team effort. I said, it's a different mindset. And it was just funny because he was just like, okay, yeah, whatever that means. Old school, right? But it's one of those things where it's a team effort. And so forgot where I was going with that. But long story short, again, it comes back to really just being true, be vulnerable, right? And that's where your power is going to be. Now, it's hard for me to explain because this is a feeling thing that you have to go through. It's an experiential. There's been many times where I remember in relationships, I held back so much things I wanted to say. And then one day I just got real. And I remember telling a chiropractic friend of mine how I was sorry because I looked at him as someone to compete against instead of someone who I appreciate. And that I saw you in that, and it interfered with me to get closer to you. And I apologize that I did it. And you notice how I'm always saying I'm not blaming the person, it's me. And it's the same thing like when it comes to doing the my husband duties, right? It's not that I'm a male, I do this. It's how do I help you, hon? How do we help as a team to get this done? Different concept. Doing the things that matter. Because in the end, that's what's going to be really the power of it all. Thank you for listening to the podcast. For past shows, please visit www.empoweryourreality.com. I hope this show inspired you and added to your life to help you on the journey to rediscover who you really are. To connect with us on Facebook, please visit www.facebook.com/Dr. Vic Manzo. Check us out on Twitter. The handle is Dr. Vic21. Follow us on Instagram, www.instagram.com/Dr. Vic Manzo. If you were inspired by the podcast, pay it forward by sharing it with someone who you know can benefit from it. Thank you again for listening to the Mindful Experiment podcast. sharing paths to help you rediscover your infinite potential.